Other way around, you may catch it. So we're looking at a bad situation getting worse rapidly, with the real possibility that Thanksgiving will drive numbers up to very, very high levels that are going to be impossible for many hospitals to be able to manage the press of patients well. And amid all of this, a federal government that's basically missing in action at the White House level.
I understand so many of these restrictions and why they matter, but I've got to ask what I specialize in, and that's a dumb question.
All right, good morning.
Why do curfews make a difference? Right? If I'm going to the gym and
So I'm a little bit early. It's all right. So we got 15 minutes left to the bell, and the stocks that I'm choosing to trade is MU, NEO, and Lee. Now, today is the 5th day of the small account challenge, and today we're trading with $189. All right, $189 we're trading with today. As you know, when trading, you have to follow the 2-day rule. If you're not on a margin, if you're on a cash account. So if you traded yesterday and you don't have enough funds to trade the next day, you'd have to trade the day after. So we had a little money left over from yesterday's trade, so we're going to use it today, and it's the reason why we chose a little bit of cheaper stocks. But these stocks do move over $1 or so. Lee just got in that category, and NEO as well. But the reason I'm liking MU, because MU is like a comeback king. So I want to show you this real quick. Let me go ahead and detach this so you guys can go ahead and see. Now, pay attention to the RSI. Okay. Now, look how many times it goes from overbought to oversold. Quite often, more overbought than anything. So this is a good stock to short, but it's also a good stock to go long, because this thing moves over $1 when it does go to oversold. I'm not expecting for it to go to oversold today, but we'll see what happens today. So I'm actually going to put NEO in the forefront first. I'm liking where it's at right now. Right now, it's at support on the right on the support on the deviation lines. MU is a little above support, and then we have Lee, as you can see right here. So Lee right here is at support right now. We will see what happens when the bell rings and the market opens. So today is Friday. Fridays are a little rough. Last day of the week before the weekend. So you definitely want to try and get in and out early, okay? Tesla's been on a streak, so we can go ahead and see real quick. Look at this move up here to Tesla, to 508. Insane move. Went back down to 499 where it's at right now. But ever since Tesla was announced that it's going to be included in the S&P 500, it's been on an uproar. So this is definitely going to keep going higher and higher. I mean, Tesla can very easily reach the 7,900 area as soon as after December. I believe December is when they're going to start really being part of the S&P 500. But we can't afford not one stock of these today, so we're going to stick with the Lees, the NEOs, and the MUs. Now, the reason I'm liking NEO is because ever since NEO's been on a hot streak, it moves quite nice, as we can see here. Yesterday, as it opened around support, came down, it tapped support. Our lines came into fruition about in this candle right here. And if you would have gotten here at 45.42 and sold around here, so it's about a $2 gain right there, which is not bad for a cheap stock as NEO is. Right? So this was the level of support. We could, if we didn't want to sell it here, you could have sold it here. If not here, for me, if it taps it more than twice, or even the second tap, then that's pretty much it. As you can see, it kept tapping that. It tried to tap that level of resistance on the deviation lines, and it just failed every single time. You see, and then it just couldn't break it. It just couldn't break it. So that's our level of support right now. So of resistance, I should say. So today it is trading.
We'll give you ways to be tax efficient, and you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time without the unnecessary fees.
Let me go ahead and reset this real quick so we can go ahead and do that. There we go. So today it is trading at support. So it's looking like it's going to do the same thing as yesterday. Maybe it'll drop down a little bit more. Not sure. Because yesterday's high was 48.92. So it is currently at 47.82. So about $1 under. So we can ride this for $1 if it goes up around there. And Lee is at support according to the deviation line. So yesterday it went down to oversold, and then it just flew from oversold at 34.81 and to actually resistance to 36.68. So about a $3 run right there. It's not bad. So ever since the EV stock has been booming, and these stocks went from like $3 to the current powerhouse they are right now from $3, these stocks are now moving about $1 plus. Before they were used to move about 30 to 60 to 80 cents on a good day. So that's why we're looking at these right now. We have a small account, and today that's what we're going to be looking at. All right. So everyone's saying the market is down, or the market's going to open down, go in the red today. Not sure why they're saying that. Probably because we had such a good week in the market. But as of right now, currently, the market is green across the board. The Nasdaq, the S&P, and that Dow Jones. Let's take a look at our fear fund stock right here, UVXY. Let's see where UVXY is at. Give us a little idea where the market's at. So it is at it's going towards support. It did that yesterday, and we had stocks that flew up yesterday. So as you can see here near the end of the market, has it just it sold off and climbed its way back here to over support. So what did other stocks do around that time? So Lee, after the market or before the market closed, it maintained its average right here. So from it going down, it never looked back. It's just stayed in this channel right here. And so did MU. So MU also, it just went up and under the yellow average. So see, as long as our fear fund stock stays down, we can go long today. All right. So let's get back to Neil, as we have 8 minutes left to the bell rings.
We're learning how President Trump is using the power of his office to try to unlawfully reverse the election results.
I got the news going in the background as always. So
to just ignore. I'm going to say this again. He's
just need that noise in the background.
To ignore Biden's clear win. Meeting today with Michigan Republicans at the White
House. So Neil, right now it is at under support. So we're looking nice. I'm liking that.
This comes after the president personally called two GOP canvassing board members in Wayne County, Michigan, who tried to block the vote certification.
Let's see if it does a repeat of yesterday. As you can see, it went from support, and it just went all the way to the resistance according to our deviation lines. And not just that, but all our lines came into play. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Our blue, pink, and yellow, man. It just catapulted up. And then you could have got in with your skull crossing here on that second candle, just for reassurance. So you could have got in there at 45 and then rode that up to 47. So about a $2 and change gain right there, which is not bad. All right, so let's get back to the current. All right, so I'm really thinking that this is going to sell off for a little bit. As you can see here, pre-market, and in the early pre-market around 1 in the morning, it took off a little bit, sold off, and right now it's currently at support. So it went from the average, this line right here,
The Republican Party remains
to this line right here.
Spoken up against
So,
President Trump in the
let's see
past,
right.
like Senator Romney are doing so.
Lee is almost all of them, to be honest with you, is at the same around the same area. MU is a little bit of a more mover than Lee moves about $253 for a cheap stock. I'm sorry, MU. So we'll see. We'll see what happens today.
We could say this is ridiculous.
Now the floats on these stocks are a lot less than the stocks that I normally trade, with the shops and the Teslas and the Rokus and Nvidias. So they can be a little bit more volatile because of the float. They're a lot less than what we normally trade.
Political brand. That's an idea that circulated my stories and sourcing for years. What makes this different?
All right, 5 minutes left to the bell.
Is now the president is using his
All right.
to try to protect his brand.
Whatever stock you guys are looking at, gauge it where they're at, see how the market is doing. And if you're following the strategy that I use, just wait for the strategy to kick in. Check for good levels of support and resistance. If everything looks good, then jump right in.
He's not calling anyone with regard to COVID. He's not calling any families who lost loved ones. I want to talk about what he's specifically doing in Michigan. The Republican Senate Majority Leader in Michigan said,
let's see, 4 minutes left to the bell rings.
So why is the president doing this? He's humiliating himself. And he's embarrassing his own voters.
I'm told by his confidant, Stephanie, he's still irate, furious about his belief that in 2016, the Democrats never fully accepted him. This is revenge for him. This is also an attempt to delegitimize the incoming Biden presidency, to make Republican voters, 70+ million who voted for him. This is also an attempt to delegitimize the incoming Biden presidency. The Democratic norms to the point where Biden can be perceived by Republican core voters as someone who wasn't properly installed in the office, wasn't properly elected.
3 minutes left.
Based on your reporting, do you
Let's see, I'm looking to make this a quick one, guys. Really, very, very quick one. I'm not looking to stay in for anything like yesterday. Yesterday was an hour long. Wait, it was more on my end. I thought there was a strong level of support, and was wrong. It found the support on the third try.
Are raising concerns about this election.
Today we're sticking with the strategy 100%. All right, so
are raising concerns about the integrity of this election. And when you say it's maybe just a small slice of GOP voters, look at the Republican.
Now remember, the strategy is not 100%. It could go the other way. Okay. There's not one strategy that is 100% accurate that you're going to go green every single time. But this strategy is accurate enough where you can go green a lot. Alright, so we're looking at our
or maybe the party is turning into some
at our pink line first and foremost. But right now you can see that all our lines are touching and crossing together on NEO. They're doing the same thing on Lee and almost the same thing on MU.
On the best way forward for the much needed relief package.
Alright, so we're going to go over to get 3 shares of NEO with the small count challenge. Now, I do have money in my retirement account, a lot more money, but for the purpose of trying to show people that they can make money with a small account. Now, maybe people have a smaller account, 500 to 1,000, anywhere between that. You can still trade large cap stocks and make some good money. It's going to take a little bit longer to get where you want to get, but, you know, just think about it. You know, you get these stocks that move $3 or more on average, and, you know, the more shares you can buy when you start building with your capital, you can make that much more money. They're a little bit of a slow mover, but, you know, every stock goes in waves, so you can definitely make some good money. So right now we're 4 days green with a 4-day challenge. So we started on Monday, and today will be the 5th day. So base hits every single day, and then that 5th day is your home run. All right, we'll take it home on that Friday if you trade 5 days a week. All right, so we try to get in and out in the first 30-45 minutes of the market, so that way we can make our money and go. That's the goal. That's the plan. All right, so MU is is selling off with a minute left, starting to go to support, and looks like Neo wants to take off. It's a little sandwiched right here. Let me go ahead and Lee. So Tesla right now, it's green. It's going up right now. I can see it from the watch list. All right. So whatever Tesla does, Neo also does. Not always, but you can put them side by side, and they kind of do almost the same thing. And it's insane that Lee and Neo are almost at the same spot. All right, approaching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so all our lines are right there. They're right underneath that candle. Lee is looking like it's about to take off. Lee is taking off, and Mu is taking off. I'm going to go ahead and
It's all the hidden thieves.
No one ever told me that.
Classic.
I'm going to wait till the next candle. All our lines are underneath it, and yesterday, that's exactly what happened yesterday as it took off. So, let's see, maybe we take this little mini run real quick.
Man, I feel like it's April 16th.
So all our lines are on the bottom of the candle. I'm going to go ahead and take a starter. Alright. It's probably going to end up going down for me. I'm looking to sell it like around right here, guys. Alright, so I'm at 48.80 is where I'm at. So let's see if this catapults up for us real quick.
I'm here to Sophia, small business owner. How's it going?
It's tough these days, so I'm looking to cut costs, starting with my internet.
Smart.
Yes, but it looks like I have to choose between low prices or fast internet.
That's nonsense.
I need both.
Alright, so this is where I got in.
Business gives you both. Fast speeds come standard with their low prices.
Am I seeing things?
Just the truth.
We're going to change this color to pink so we can see what we got in.
Tomorrow marks
So it looks like it's going down for me.
Congress passed any sort of economic COVID relief legislation, and it doesn't look like lawmakers are getting any closer to a new agreement. In fact, the Trump administration is actually taking steps back. Yesterday, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin asked the Federal Reserve to shut down several emergency lending programs.
Alright, so Lee is selling off, is going towards oversold, and I'm pretty sure Neo's going to do the same thing. Alright, so let's see, Neo, you can reach $50 today. It's done it before. Let's see if it does it today.
I might buy that, but he's not. He just said, let's stop it. And on the Democratic side, President-elect Joe Biden, he's now getting involved. Today he'll meet in person with Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. NBC's Mike Memoli, of course, is in Wilmington, Delaware, because you know he's with the Biden team.
Let's see, do we have our flags up in here? Yeah, we have the flags. So it takes time for those flags to pop up. Alright, so it's getting close to where we got in. We're approaching, so we are red currently. Let's see if it alright, starting to go up. Let's see how far up it can go for us. It's approaching the overbought on the RSI, but it's above the 50 trend line. So we are in good standings right now. Let's see if we can continue this little run.
A potential lame duck stimulus or COVID relief bill as well, because that'll also affect the shape of what a Biden administration will try to move through Congress in the first year of his presidency. You'll remember, Steph, the Build Back Better plan that they were talking about throughout the summer. It was a hefty price tag, and there was a lot of priorities.
So I'm going to sell it at this yellow line right here at the average. So I'm going to go ahead and set a trigger for this yellow average line right here at 49.40. 49.40.
Now, with the margin
Let's
smaller
see.
than it was in the last Congress and the House, with Democrats still fighting.
Take a base hit for today. Hopefully it continues to go up for me. Let's see if it gets to that point.
Some politics will be on the agenda. Senator Schumer, in particular, I think will want to get a sense from the Biden team of what they can see in terms of helping.
So we're gonna call this an early one. So hopefully it can reach that point. I might just flatten this, to be honest with you, but we're so close to it. So let's just wait it out. Let's see.
If not both of those leaders will bring a little bit of a birthday cake for the president-elect today.
A little bit of a birthday cake. Michael, thank you. Joining us now to discuss Director.
All right, looks like we're gonna go ahead and sell this. It's gonna hit our line.
Michael, let's
It's gonna hit our
Steve
trigger.
mentioned cutting these programs. I said it before. He's not taking the money and redeploying it elsewhere. He's just cutting them. Neil Barofsky, who oversaw TARP, is in the New York Times today saying this is beyond reckless. It's specifically designed to kneecap.
And we're sold and we're done for the day, ladies and gentlemen. So we are $1.80. $1.80. We're agreeing $1.80 today. So with $189 to play with, we were able to make $1.80. Honestly, I only traded today so that way you can see that it's possible for you to make money with a small account. This was an extremely small base hit. The reason I sold it at that yellow average is because it's the next channel from here. It's Friday. Being Friday, I wanted to go ahead and make a quick money real quick. It is currently 6:35, so we made money in 5 minutes. Now, I'm positive that it's going to continue to go. So I'm thinking that it's going to go maybe like to $49.90, maybe $50 today. It'll probably go to $50. If you're following the strategy, even though your lines on the bottom of the scope did not cross, all my lines on the bottom of this candle right here were all stuck together. And as long as the yellow line is underneath your candles, then it's on an uptrend. Okay. Now the reason I sold it here, like I mentioned before, was because of the fact that we were already at support, and our lines were crossing all together like glue on the very first candle. I went ahead and jumped in right here, 40.80. As you can see, this is where I got in. Our flag indicates that we got in right there, and I want to take a base hit for today with a small account. So as you can see, I'm anticipating for this to go to maybe like $50. I think it's going to go to $50 today. So I'm going to go ahead and set a create alert and see if that's how it'll go. Just out of curiosity, see if it'll go to $50. So I have that just to see, but I don't think it'll pass $50 today. If it does, if it hits the $50, it's already at oversold, guys. So as you can see here, it's already, overbought. It's already overbought here at the bottom. It's already at overbought here on the scope. So I'm looking for this run to end probably in the next candle. It'll probably jump up to maybe this right close to $50. But after that, it'll probably just start going down, and it'll just do some waves up and down like this throughout the day, guys. So I'm done trading for today. I can't go into anything else. I normally don't go into anything else anyway. I'm pretty much one and done with the small account challenge and showing people that you can make money. Don't overtrade. If you overtrade, you can end up losing the money. Be happy with what you've made at the moment. Always look for a good entry. My entry was good. It was at support. It was at support. Wow, that just moved for me. So it was at support right here. It was at support right here. Our lines were all together. Okay, and I got in even though it wasn't crossing. If you look on the first candle, it was actually at overbought on your SCO. Now the SCO is a little bit faster of an indicator, but it was above the 50 trend line on our RSI. So I felt very comfortable getting in there. Okay, very comfortable because of that right there, because of those lines, guys. Alright. So we have MU. MU is taking off. Let me show you that real quick. So
Michael, thank you so
again,
much.
you would have got in here. if your lines were all together like they are right here, they're crossing. So this is probably, if I would have got in here, I would sell it right underneath this line here at 62.43. This is where I'm gonna sell it at. Okay, or you can just basically wait for all your lines down here to cross, which is what I would do. And then we have Lee taking off as well. You could have got off on the bounce of this candle right here. Okay, as your pink line was crossing through, you could have got on that next one because it was bouncing off that pink line. It already came from oversold, and you could have rode that wave from here. So you got on here at 37.03, and you could have sold to the next channel, which is the resistance. So about $1 gain, guys, right there. All right, so about $1 gain on that one, which is not bad. So, like, look, I'm telling you here, this is where you would have got in, guys. As soon as all your lines are crossing, okay? Even though they're not crossing here, if all your lines are together, this is where you would have got in at 61.82, okay? And then you could ride that wave up. So I'm thinking that this is going to go to that line right there, 62.28, or a little bit higher, actually, a little bit right underneath that average right here. That's where I'm thinking it's going to go. So out of curiosity, again, I'm just going to go ahead and set a trigger right here at 62.50. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a price alert at that price. Just give me some, to see if I was correct with that, as I normally am with that. And I believe, you see, it reached the channel, guys. The lead reached that channel right there, so you would have got in, and now it's going down for many reasons. One, it's already at overbought. Even if it reaches overbought, guys, it'll go down just a little bit, and then it can curl back up. Okay, but so yeah, so that's where I would have sold right there. That's our level of resistance, because it already tapped it once, it tapped it twice, it tapped it 3 times, and the 4th time it's failing. So that's our level of resistance right there, guys. Okay, so I would have sold it right here in the second one if you wanted to give it a little chance. But it's also breaking our pink line right here. So for maximum gains, you probably want to sell on that first peak candle right there on that pink line. And as you can see right here, Lee's having a little bit of trouble reaching that 50 mark. It's gonna reach it, $50. I can almost guarantee it's gonna reach it. It might struggle. It'll probably tap it and then come down. We are literally at overbought on the RSI, and we are way overbought on the slow. We are overbought on the RSI, guys. So let's see if it reaches it, how further it'll go, how much further it'll go.
Is now a good time for a flare-up?
Enough, Crohn's.
For adults with moderate to severe Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, Stellara can provide relief and is the only approved medication.
Alright, so it's going to reach it. It broke it. Let's see, will it go to resistance? Will it go to resistance? Maybe it will. Remember that stocks go up and under the average. They go up and under that average, guys. Right?
Have had cancer, or if you need a vaccine. RPLS, a rare potentially fatal brain condition.
Alright, so if you're still in Neo, man, kudos to you. Just take a look at where it's at. It's already at oversold, or overbought, I should say. So our next level of resistance would be close to or at the actual level of resistance right here. So I'm going to set another trigger right there and see how further this would go. See if it'll reach that. Now I could have stayed in the trade until I broke my pink or blue lines, but I'm really a conservative trader. I'll take that base hit, build up my capital like I did last time. I have more than $1,700 in my account. But what I did basically was leave $1,700 in my account, because that's what I first started with when I first started trading. I deposited $1,700 in my account about almost a year ago. So I've been doing this for about a year. Now I'm not a guru trader, but I'm 100% dedicated to this, and I look at these charts like it's my job. It is literally my job. It's the second job. So look at Lee, man. Lee is taking off. Lee is look at Lee, man. Wow, phenomenal, guys. So you would have got in here as everything is telling you. It's bouncing off the pink line. It's going through that candle there. You got in here about 37.03. And look at this. It's at 38.71. Nice, nice, nice. Beautiful run right there, guys. And look at MU. You see, if you would have got in using the strategy, as all your lines are crossing right here in this candle, you could have got in here at 61.83. It is currently at 62.44. Beautiful run, guys. And NEO is looking like it might come down now. So this might be the level of resistance. So you guys are looking to get out of NEO. If you're in NEO still, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. So right now, that's our level of resistance is 50.50. It's a current level of resistance. If it breaks that, it's probably going to go for a little pop and then down. If it does that, okay. I mean, look, we've been an overbought for about since this candle here, and that's at 632. So about 12 minutes. We've been on overbought for 12 minutes. It's definitely going to come down, guys. It'll go down and then maybe go back up.
Nobody is surprised by Donald Trump. Every time we think he's touched bottom, he crashes through.
All right. So those of you still trading,
a clownish but nonetheless very dangerous coup.
I don't know what you're watching. If there's a stock you're watching right now, I mean, there's only 3 of you on here. I've only invited about 3 people. So type it in the comment area if there's a stock you're watching. If you got in, it's going down. Maybe I can try to help you and guide you and see where it can possibly go, since it is Friday. And see where it's going to go. If you're trading with me and you got into NEO, Lee, or MU, and you use the strategy, you're 100% perfect. I would have sold NEO. I would have sold Lee probably as soon as it hit that green channel line on the deviation lines, and I would have sold. I would have sold MU. See, MU went to 62.50. It tipped 62.50. It hit my trend line. So that right there is, I knew that's what I was going to do. As you can see, so NEO broke down. So this is our current level of support right here, 49.87. That's the current line of support. All right. So that's support, and this is resistance. So if it breaks this level of support right here, 49.87, I'm thinking it's going to go back down to 49.43. Basically touch this yellow average here and possibly go up. I don't think it's going to pass $51 today, guys. I really don't think it's going to do that. All right. Everything is starting to come back down now. This is the reason why we trade early in the morning. These stocks in particular are pretty nice. They're pretty decent because they can take a nice swing early in the morning, and you can make your money early, which is a beautiful thing. We want to be in and out within 15-20 minutes of trading. Get your shit, go where you gotta go, and you're done, man. All right. So let me see here. Jose is trading Netflix. Let's see, my man. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So this candle would have told you to get in.
President Trump is now his own worst nightmare, a loser.
All right. So you would have got in. Where you got in? 45. 45. 45. All right. And yeah, it's about $1 swing up. You know, I would probably use this 43.29 as your exit, or basically, yeah. So a little bit under 49. So 483.29 is your exit. If it, because these are large cap stocks, guys. So you can't put a trigger for 50 cents, 30 cents, because it'll hit that easy. So you got in here, and you're currently holding Yeah, so your exit would be here, 43.23. So leave the trigger here. I'm going to go ahead and do one as well. I'm going to go ahead and see where I would sell it at. Let's put it at below. So I would sell it here, man. I would sell it right here. This is the level of resistance. So it could definitely go back up to there. As you can see, it tapped it even on pre-market. Tapped it once, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and then it failed. So currently right now, this is the level of support that we're at right now at 480, 476. So it's so 40, 46. So sell it there. So that trigger, sell it there. I'm also going to put another alert there. That's what I would do. Just for curiosity. Okay, so that's what I would do. I will sell it right there. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else watching something? No? Okay. So everyone's perfect. Awesome. All right. I mean, there's only really 3 of you on here as of right now. So we're gonna continue to grow the channel, guys. I'm only doing this with a few people. You know, so you can see that I follow my own strategy. I don't preach it just so, hey, you know, listen, it's fucking working for me. It's gonna work for you. And then don't use it. No, I use it, but I also look at levels of resistance and support. It's very important for you to understand that. Besides the strategy, learn what support and resistance is. It's very important. You can't just gauge it by the channels. I gauge the stock by the channels to let me know where it's at. If it's too expensive, if it's too cheap. If it is too cheap and it's around here, I would love it, but I want to know why it's down here. You know, is there some recent bad news that we haven't seen yet on the platform? You know, you should always have your news popped up, as I do, in one of your screens. I don't know how many screens you guys may have, but always have your news on here. There's no recent news in any of these, like really recent. For me, for so if it's just going down because you got profit takers coming in, then I'm okay with that. You know, make your money and let me get in at a decent discount price, and then I'll make my money. You know, so we'll take turns making money, and I'm quite alright with that. But you know, I just gauge it. I gauge the stock where these lines are at. That's what these lines for me are. I want to know: is it too expensive? Is it too cheap? Is it fair value? Fair value for me is anywhere between this yellow line here and resistance. That's fair value for me. If my lines come into fruition, as they did on Neo, okay. So they did for Neo right here when I got in on the top of this candle, on the first candle, and it just took off for me, okay? We found the level of resistance at 50.59. I don't know if it's going to pass that today. It may go to 50.88 as I have this trigger right here, just to let me know if it did. And we can see, look. MU, look, see, it found resistance right here. This is where it found resistance. 62.39 was where the resistance was at. Okay, so I don't think it's gonna go past that today. It might. I don't know if it might. I mean, if it goes anywhere further than that, it go to 62.62. I don't know. I don't think it'll go any further than that. So right now it's currently at support. So as you can see here, these candles right here, 1, 2, 3. Where it was support, and then it took off. So it's going back to old support. It could possibly take off from there. Not that I would jump in from there. I would wait for my strategy to kick in and, you know, take it from there. So MU is selling off. Let's take a look at Lee. What does Lee do? So Lee is currently consolidating around here. It has found support at resistance, so it's just a little bit too high for me since it already went to overbought. So if I was looking to get into this, I'd want it to come down to at least this level here at 37.76. As we see that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the support that it bounced off of right there. So if I'm going to jump in this, I'm going to wait for that to hit that support level right there. Alright, so anyone else looking at something that we did not send in the chat room? Anyone else?
Last night, my kids and I, along with more than 2,000 people from across the country, we slept outside
Adobe.
to raise money and awareness.
Adobe, you're looking at Adobe.
2.2 million children in the United States who don't have
Okay.
It is part of the
I can see.
House's national campaign
I can see.
called the
Adobe did huge, nice move yesterday, and it sold out today. So as you can see, yesterday went to the oversold, way oversold down here, and it just took off from there. So this is the level of resistance, 1, 2, 3, and our candles told you to get in right here on this candle. Okay, our lines. So yeah, so I would sell it, man. If you're gonna hold on to it. Where did you get in?
They're the organization behind the Sleep Out. Kevin,
right here.
Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for making me part of last night's event.
Right, so I would sell it here at this channel right here, guys. This is where I'll sell it. So right now, this is the current level of resistance, 46.41. 46.41. You got in 40. You know what? I would sell it at that resistance level right there. So I'm gonna put here an alert. You know, I like to do that just to see if my the advice I'm giving out is correct. I believe it's gonna reach that, guys, right there. Okay.
Not just one night, but many nights are on the streets. Not sure where their next meal is going to come from. Not sure where they can sleep safely.
So you got to use the strategy. Hopefully, hopefully it does what we want it to do. Okay. So it found a strong level of support right here. This is the resistance.
And you're hungry, and you're not surrounded by
so by selling at that point, you're gonna make about $2 and change.
And some of them are getting very sick.
I don't know how many shares you have.
Are hungry. I mean, in 30 years of doing this, I have never seen the breadth and the depth of child hunger.
I would sell it if it goes the wrong way. Remember, you want to give this room. So 463, I would sell it right here. So, you know, put an alert there for you to remind you. Make sure you put it at or below. If you put at or above, it's going to go off as soon as you hit create. So that's where you would get out if it goes the wrong way. Okay, but it should go up. It should go up. Okay, you got in using the strategy. It should go up. Our yellow line is coming down towards the candle. When that happens, that's a great indication that it's gonna be an upswing right there. So it's going back towards what you bought in.
The reality is that now all of these young people are competing for Wi-Fi. A lot of them don't have the equipment or the tools or the resources, the Chromebooks, if you will, in order to access school. We're lucky at Covenant House because Cisco and Accenture and Delta, they
wow, look at Shop. Shop just took off. I'll come back to this. I'll let it take out what took off. I mean, look at this. It was all, look at that. Look, if you would have got in here on the first candle, all our lines are crossing. You could have got in right there, literally right there, for a 973. And look at that beautiful run, man. Oh my, off 2 candles. Well, this is a 2-minute chart, so it would have been out to here. But very nice. But the spread on this is almost about 80 cents, so it's not that bad because, you know, this went up like what?
Have you seen that reflected
wow, that went up like $12, huh? More or less, around there.
I mean, last week alone, claims for
take a look at W. Favorites. The favorites. So our candles, our entry would have been on this one, 451, and I found resistance right here. So, man, about a $7, $6 run. Man, this is why I love these large cap stocks, guys. I do like NEO and MU. They do move $1.50 or more. So if you're a little low on funds, like I was today, I shouldn't be able to trade today, but I did have a little extra money. So $1.80, $2. It's a base hit, truly a base hit. So we're finishing up for the week around 35, I think $40. So small account challenge, $40 for the week. You know, base hits, nothing to sneeze at, man. No one's gonna give you $40 for nothing. So, you know, put in the hard work, study the charts, study your levels of support and resistance, learn the strategy. It does work. We'll go back to Adobe and see what it's doing for my man. Okay, so remember, so you want to sell it right here. That's the current level of resistance. That's where it's having a hard time passing. Now, if you want to wait till it goes further up, I don't think it's gonna do exactly what it did yesterday. because I had two waves. So you can see here, this is the first wave, went back down to the average, then went all the way up to overbought. I don't know if it's going to do that today. It might. I mean, if we take a look at what this thing did on the 480 chart or on the 5-day chart, let's look at the 5-day chart.
Like in the Hyundai Tucson.
So 2 days in a row it keeps going higher. Well, one day it went to. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so let me pop this up real quick so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay.
Over the last 5 years, feeling safe.
Boom. There we go. So as you can see here, this is the level of resistance. Right here. Look at this. Right here. Okay. Look. 1 day. 2, 3, 4. It can't break that level. It breaks it briefly and it comes back down. So 1 day it goes up, 1 day it goes up, down, 1 day it goes up, 1 day it goes down. So today's going to be that down day. If it's following this pattern, that's how I see it. Now let's look at the 180. So right now it's currently at support for going back to 3 months. So on the longer time frame, it's at support for 3 months. So it could bounce up. But if we're looking at recent time on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, it could go down, man. It could. So be conservative with it. I would sell it right here at that resistance. It could pass it. It's 100% up to you. I can't tell you when to get out. I can't tell you when to get in. I can only guide you on that. Right? So
has bristles that can leave cleaning gaps and wrap hair, so Shark replace them with flexible power fix.
as you can see, it's having a hard time breaking this level also. It's bouncing back off basically where you got in, man. Right? So yes, I really think it's gonna hit that level of resistance, man. So sell it right there. 466.41. And how is Netflix doing? For a homeboy, oof. Oh, it looks like it's going down to sorry, here. So that's the level of resistance or support right now. Let's see what it did on the 5-day chart. Let's see. Ah, man, it's just going up and up. Looks like that's the level of resistance. It's having a hard time breaking that 486.66, guys. So where did it go down? Towards 488.29. It does tend to bounce out that 488.29. So let's see if it bounces off that for you, and then you can just get right up there. It's way down, dude. I would basically, I mean,
It was time someone made a better wallet, so we did.
Your exit would be here.
Precisely engineered.
This is going to be your exit. So let's see.
And made from military-grade materials.
Hopefully it doesn't go that way for you, man. It's Friday.
Hi, I'm Harold. I created
I don't like Fridays. I'll be very honest. I don't like Fridays.
That saves you money by finding the best deal. Gabi users save more than $800 per year on average.
Alright, so Lee is doing a big U. Doing a big U. Let me show you what Lee is doing. Look at that. Look at that big U right there. So, boom. So, this is the level of resistance for Lee. Okay? The actual support line. So, let's see if it looks like it wants to bounce off that. This long wick doesn't mean shit. It went down to that point and then it came back up. That's all that is. So, let's see. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 candles on this level of resistance or support. So, it could do that. Wow. So, Netflix hit our trigger to exit. I don't know if you exited, man. Wait it out. Wait it out. 100% up to you. They're fighting the results in Georgia, even after that state today reconfirmed Biden's win there. This hour, the partial recount they wanted. Yeah, so yesterday it went down to 480. And the president's team is fighting in court. So, about $2 away from that. It can very easily do that. I don't know. Is there any news on Netflix? Let's look. The first chance in more than 2 weeks to hear President Trump answer questions today about this and about the pandemic gripping the country with a huge step forward in the fight against the virus. I don't see any recent news on this. This has got to be profit takers People are probably holding. They don't want to hold over the weekend. They want to get their money and go. I don't see any options.
And Carol, we start with politics and we start with the headlines.
Let's see. Let's look at the options. Let's see here. So right now we have more calls than puts. So we have more people expecting for this to go up. So, but right now the puts are winning. There's 22,000 calls and 12,000 puts on this right now.
To Michigan in his play to subvert the election. And let's start there with Michigan, Carol. What are you learning about his plans to host Michigan lawmakers at the White House today?
Right, Hallie, we know that.
Yeah, it looks like the Bears are going to win this challenge right here. This one. Or they're winning now. It can go. I honestly do it. If you're going to hold on to this, man, hold on to it. 100% up to you. I would have sold. I mean, if I got in here, I would have just sold it there. Reason being is because it tapped it 3 times already. So that's my level of resistance. I know you want. I know people want this to go up. You know, $3-4, and this normally does. But it can go the reverse, as it did, as you can see, at 486. Now it's at 481. So it dropped like $4. Not good. Not good.
Which the deadline is December 8th, but that doesn't mean there's not.
Hold it, man. You can hold it. It's yeah.
And what the president's critics are saying is that
you're more than. I mean, it's your money.
To save our country, to overturn a free and fair election, and what you hear inside, and you know this in the White House. For weeks,
look,
it's been, maybe it'll be
normally when stocks reach this level, now Netflix is a different beast. Netflix is a great stock, in my opinion. It's on my watch list. But normally when they reach this level, it'll pass that second channel or that first channel and go up to this next channel. It can go up here, but you got to remember, it's as a $3 average, $6, $7 on a decent day. So you're gonna have to break even, because I don't think it'll. At where it's at now, it's a $3 mover, so it can go up $4 or $5 where it's at now. Okay. So I hope it goes for you, man. I'm gonna leave my trigger of where it would sell, but I'm also gonna put a trigger to see if it right here where you got in. See if it goes back to that level right there.
But that's what his critics say.
So it's currently found a new level of support right here. Okay, so it's tapped it 3 times. It wants to break it. It might break it. I don't know.
Garrett, all of this is unfolding.
All right, so let's see. Let's take a look at NEO. See if the NEO passed my No, you see, this is why it's important to learn levels of support and resistance. I'm gonna put this up for you guys right now. So I got in here, as you can see, and for those of you that are watching, I got in here. It's that pink without a line, okay? Because all my lines were all together here, and I exited right here. Okay, I got it right here. It continued to go up. I could have held a little bit longer if I wanted to. My lines didn't tell me to sell. But being Friday, and I don't like trading Fridays, I just wanted to be conservative. So I got out there. And I said it wasn't going to pass the 50.08. It did. I was wrong. It went further. I don't think it's going to go past this high, 50.59. I think that's where it'll keep tapping and not past that. I'm not saying that it will ever, but today I don't think it'll do that. Okay. Now we can see how Lee made a nice little move back up. So you can see that. This is the reason why I learn levels of support and resistance, guys. Look, so it found support at support and deviation lines. As you can see, the first 2 candles, then it bounced up, and then now it came back down as it tapped it 3-4 more times, and then it jumped up. You could have got in on this candle here, as everything is crossing. If you're looking to get in at this time, and so if you get on this candle, right here, midway 37.10. I would basically, I would sell it here in this channel. 38.11. I think it'll go to 30.11.
Perhaps only hit the president of the United States. But again, these lawmakers are now home for the
Let
holidays.
me put this 38.11 because that's where I think it's going to go.
Wait out this latest,
I think that's where it'll hit. I think it'll go there. I don't think it'll pass that if it reaches that level. Right now, I likely because there's days where it can move $1.50 or more as it did today. As you can see from the low of here, 36.34, it went to 34, so it's a $2 mover right there. Anyone getting in this candle right now, I believe it's going to go up to this channel here, although this is the current level of resistance as it tapped it twice. It's having a hard time breaking that. So if it doesn't break it on the next two candles, then I would exit the trade.
Here in Wilmington, not in Washington, and that'll certainly be the case when House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Leader Chuck Schumer come here for their
Let's see how our boy MU is doing.
This afternoon, certainly a lot on their agenda, but this certainly as
all right, MU.
Are starting to raise the
So MU told us to get in right off of the bounce off of the pink candle. Everything's crossing right here, so we would have got in here, as I mentioned earlier. If it went up to a high.
This is the first of what they say are several tools in their toolbox to try to build that pressure on the GSA to try to force this action. Now,
it's like Adobe sold for you, huh? Did it? Let's see.
Biden transition, and with Carol and others yesterday reporting about the increasing impatience of the Biden team with this ongoing delay and the potential for moving.
Beautiful.
Kristen Welker asked Biden directly about this yesterday.
I told you. I told you that's the level of resistance. It's having a hard time breaking that, my man. Very important. Learn resistance levels and support levels. Very, very important. It's having a hard time breaking that. As you can see, it's probably going to turn back down. It could go up. I think it'll go up maybe to like 46, 30, 467, 30. Maybe 468. I doubt it though. It's having a hard time breaking that level of resistance right there. So I'm glad you made your money, my man. I'm glad you did. Very awesome. Beautiful. Okay, so Netflix is started to. It's holding that level of support, my man. So you're still in good standings, dude. I would have sold it there, but you don't want to take a loss. I don't blame you. I know many people who don't want to take losses, man. No one wants to take a loss. Honestly, no one. So I don't know. I think you'll break even, buddy. I really think you'll break even. I think it'll just go back to where you bought it at. Maybe pass it by a couple of cents. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do. It'll go maybe near the end. By the end of the market, maybe it'll start to rally and go up. I don't know. You know what I was looking at today to trade was OSTK, but it was. It did so good yesterday, and it's just getting higher today, man. Look at this beautiful run. We would have got in here. All our lines are all together, like I did with Neo, but it was at the average. Just one of the reasons why I wasn't looking at it. Although it's not too high, this is fair value. I mean, look at this beautiful run. So you would have got in here maybe at the top of this candle at 59.56. And then you could have rode that wave, man, until it broke your blue line. It did not break our blue line. It tapped it twice here, and it just kept going up from there. So as soon as it reaches one of these channels and it breaks that channel and your line is still in play, you just use your line to get out, man. All right. Wow, OCK had a beautiful run. Nice, beautiful run. For the Netflix, dude, I am so sorry, dude, that your Netflix is just, yeah. Oh. Yeah, the strategy told you to get in, but the strategy didn't tell you to hold. That's why you gotta learn levels of support and resistance. This was a resistance, my man, right there. It didn't break it here. I would have got out there, dude, on this one here for a little $1.50 gain. That's still good money right there, my man.
The next steps of what happens now that Pfizer's submitted this application.
All right. Anyone else? I just got a text.
who do not have allegiance to the company and to the FDA. These are just experts in the field, and that's
Baba.
and related biologics.
Baba, huh? Alibaba, Shishi Baba.
Looks at the data, and what Pfizer has said is that at some point in December, they anticipate that there will be a
Yeah, nice, man. You got in right there. Right here's where you got in.
The vaccine and
$2.62.
and answer any questions.
$3. Did you sell it?
Then, potentially you
I'm
might
talking
be
to the
able
fucking
to
phone.
approval,
Like you can listen to me.
approval potentially in the 1st or 2nd week of December.
Oh yeah, you did sell it there. Nice.
Out to potentially the
Very
last
nice.
weeks.
So we have one stock today that went the reverse using the strategy. Look, man, it's gonna happen. It just is, you know. I mean, it's not 100%. Like I've been saying to everybody. But there is days where more days than it doesn't that it works. So if you're holding on to Netflix, it looks like it wants to curl up, my man. So yeah, dude, just hold it. I guess. I mean, you're already holding it, so you're gonna hold it anyway. So let's see. MasterCard. Now, I like MasterCard, but this is the reason why I wasn't looking at MasterCard today, because when it has a nice upswing, it just tends to drop, as you can see here. So upswing, drop, upswing, drop, upswing, drop. So maybe Monday this would be a good one to look at, but I wasn't looking at it today because it had multiple upswings and it dropped. If we look at the 180 4-hour Monday, we can take a look at this one. We're gonna have our funds in on Monday. We'll have a nice chunk of change with the small account challenge. So I think Monday will be good. Alright guys, so that does it for me. For those of you that made your money and you follow the strategy, kudos to you. Keep doing it. For those of you that are holding on to a stock, like my man is right now, holding on to Netflix, I wish you well. I hope that this goes the right way for you. And it looks like it's going to call up for you, my man. So hopefully that does do that for you. Maybe today will be that $20 mover so you can make a profit on it. Everyone else I can see here, 4 people made money. Very nice. Very, very nice, guys. Very happy that you guys are making money. Very, very nice. Hold on, I'm looking at something real quick. Let me see. Okay, so right now we are out of the 5 people that are we're watching and in the chat room, including myself, makes 6. So we have 5 green winners today. 5 green winners, which is awesome. Only one. It didn't go. The strategy didn't go the way you wanted it to go. You didn't exit, which is fine. Hopefully it goes where you want it to go. So, last word of advice for you, my man. Try not to hold this over the weekend. If you do, maybe on Monday it'll go up for you, man. So right now you're currently bag holding this. So you have to, the end of the day, hopefully it curls up for you. Alright? For those of you that made your money, got in perfectly, again, kudos to you. If you have a stock on watch that you want me to look at for the next week, either send in the chat room. There's only 6 of you in the chat room at this point.
A gift for the whole family. So
BA. I own BA long term. Yeah, looks like it's going down. That's alright. I bought this at 150, so I'm gonna hold this out for a minute.
So if I made it so easy to pay off my student loan debt.
Alright guys, so I want you to take a look real quick before I end my day. I want you to see real quick. Look at, this is one of my watch lists. Look at the influx of red and green. Okay? I mean, it's that type of day, man. It's Friday. I hate Fridays. I don't trade Fridays. I try not to. Alright, so, alright guys, that does it for me. Those of you that made money, awesome. That followed the strategy, awesome. Amen. Follow the strategy on Netflix. It went the wrong way for him, unfortunately. But, you know, doesn't mean it doesn't work. I use it every single day. It works. Many other people use it. No, I know you make money using the strategy. I'm just trying to inform people. Just because you get in using the strategy and it doesn't go your way, and everything else is perfectly fine and telling you this is gonna go up. Hey, sometimes the setup don't work. It doesn't go the way you want it to go. But it's rare that happens with this strategy. I'm telling you. All right, guys. Have a good one, and I will see you guys on Monday. All right, bright and early.